John Fitzgerald Kennedy couldn't say, come unto me. Muhammad can't say, come unto me. Buddha can't say, come unto me. Only Jesus. Only Jesus. And I'll give you rest.
Amen.
One day he said, let not your hearts be troubled. You believe in God, believe also in me. For in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. But I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go, I'll come again, and I'll receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. John chapter 14, verses 1 through 6. And the Bible is right. Jesus is the divine Son of God. He is a water walking man. He is a miracle working man. He is a sin forgiving man. He is a storm calming man. Spoke to the wind, peace, be still. And while he was dying on the cross, he forgave. He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the rugged centurion, standing as a supervisor of the crucifixion, cried out, truly, truly, this was the Son of God. I tell you, Jesus is God. And our faith depends upon Jesus. He is the Son of the living God. And if you don't believe that, you might as well quit, because our faith goes down the drain. This doctrine, yesterday, today, and all God's tomorrows is not a watered down doctrine. The doctrine of Christ is complete, perfect, sufficient, unique, heavenly originated, God approved, everlasting duration. Help me, somebody. And now, you may water down your house when it's on fire. You may water down your grass in the hot summertime. You may water down your car as you wash it. But let me sound the trumpet tonight. No man or woman has a right to water down the doctrine of Christ. I don't like watered down a coffee. I don't like watered down orange juice. I don't like watered down Coke. Say amen if you can. If you're going to have coffee, don't water it down. And the doctrine of Christ ought not be watered down. Don't downgrade the doctrine on baptism.
Come on.
Baptism is still essential to salvation. There are some preachers and members in the Church of Christ who do not believe that baptism is a part of the plan. We are getting just like some denominational folk. All you got to do is raise your hand. All you got to do is say a prayer, and everything will be all right. Just believe and accept the Lord in your heart. But we cannot downgrade the doctrine of Christ. Jesus said in Mark 16:16, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. And nobody can get into the church without baptism. Nobody.
Come on.
This doctrine has some exclusiveness about it.
All right.
There is an exclusive church. It's one, not many churches. And you know we're getting away from that? But this doctrine, yesterday, today, and all of God's tomorrows, as long as we live, we ought to preach the one God, the one faith, the one baptism, and the one church. It's exclusive in its music. A cappella music. Can I get a witness here? Singing without playing. Singing without blowing. Singing without beating. Singing without plucking. Singing without picking. Am I right about it? Singing and making melody in your hearts unto the Lord. It's still in the Bible. But we're trying to make the church attractive to the world. And therefore, we don't want to bother instrumental music anymore. Let it become a matter of optionality. Don't water down the doctrine. Exclusive church, the Lord's Supper is every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Exclusive church, preachers are not called reverend, father and rabbi. Some people don't think this is important. But there are so many folk who don't know the truth. I was in a meeting in Goldsboro, North Carolina a few weeks ago. On the last night, we had about 20 visitors. And about 10 of them were sitting up on the first two seats on both aisles. And I mentioned the idea that no preacher ought to be called reverend. And their mouths flew open. They never heard such a thing before. And I repeated it several times. And then I quoted Psalms 111 and verse 9. You should have seen them grabbing paper and pencil trying to write it down. I repeated it about 4 or 5 times to allow them to write it down. There are a lot of folk who don't know. And as a result of that one emphasis on that point, we got several Bible classes.
Yes, sir. That's how it works. Yes, sir.
One person was baptized after the meeting was over.
Yes, sir.
As a result of the emphasis upon reverend. My brothers and sisters, we cannot water the doctrine down.
Right.
We have to give it as the Bible teaches us.
Right.
And it bothers me when preachers will talk about everything, but they won't make the Church of Christ exclusive. Afraid.
Well,
help me here. Afraid. But this church is exclusive. No bingo. Please, Brother Lawton. No baby contests. No church raffles to raise money for the church. Can I get a witness here? No selling of chicken dinners to raise money for the church. Can I preach a while here? No bus rides to raise money for the church. The church is financed God's way. And God's way is upon the first day of the week. Let every one of you labor in store as God has prospered you. That's God's way. Every now and then I get people from the world called in the office and they want to advise me about financing the church. Don't you want to have a good way of financing the church? I said, I'm not interested. What do you mean you're not interested? I said, the Bible gives us God's financial program. And nobody can enhance upon God's program. Some of our congregations are getting away from this. The Bible is right. But somebody is wrong. The challenge is, as we baptize people, don't let new converts come into the church and change this doctrine.
No, all right.
The new converts are to be discipled.
Yes, sir.
They are to be instructed.
Yes, right.
Don't let them come in with their denominational ideas and inculcate them into the church of Christ.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Church members ought not be ashamed of the exclusiveness of the church.
Right.
We ought not to hold our heads down for anybody, because the church of Christ is right.
Yes, sir.
And one of the most difficult ideas to get over to people that there is only one church.
Yes, sir.
And all the other churches are wrong.
Right.
That's hard to get over. That's like doing root canal. It's difficult. It's a painful surgery. But it's our responsibility to get the truth over. People are dying every day without Jesus.
Amen.
Amen.
Don't tamper with the doctrine.
Well,
Come on.
God can't use a compromising preacher.
Yes, sir.
God cannot use a sugar-coated preacher.
well,
God cannot use a no-backbone preacher.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
God cannot use a scared preacher. God cannot use a protective coloration preacher. God cannot use a wishy-washy preacher.